Hello, everybody. We're going to go live in a second. Please, if you can, just share the video so we can get kind of the viewership built up. And that's Josh, by the way. He's like eating nuts and or getting ready to drink coffee. Um, anyway, we're going to go live in a second. We're going to go back to another screen. I'm going to share with you my new creation, Bjork Panoply, which I enjoy. And then we'll be back in 2 minutes, all right?
Yeah.
Okay. We are live. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Social
Hey.
Distance Live. Bjork, Undercover 9. This is my friend and colleague, Joshua Miller. There's a sort of inside joke there. It's all right.
You didn't get us in trouble, James.
I know.
Okay.
Uh,
All right.
go for it, Josh. Talk to me.
All right. So, how's everyone doing? Be sure to post. Be sure to. I'm looking at the comments, so have fun with that. I'm gonna say share it, share the event, and did you have some stuff to housekeeping stuff, James?
Yeah, yeah. So we have an announcement, which is that we are going to take a small break after next week. So next week we've got the ninth in our series. See what I did there, Josh? No names. Not naming names.
Okay.
Ninth in our
Oh yeah.
series, which is Towns Van Zandt, and I just put up the
Yep.
the event for that. In the past I've been kind of remiss about putting it up in time, so I just hurriedly put up this like big red sign that says Towns Van Zandt. So you can find it under our new event.
Pretty
So
pretty clear.
yeah,
It's
it's
very
very
clear.
unambiguous. This is
Yeah.
Social Distance Live covering Towns Van Zandt.
Yeah.
Um, so you can go there
Next
and you
week.
can follow that event so that you'll get notifications and that you can watch it next week. That's going to be awesome. And again, that's going to be the last one for a couple weeks after that. So I'm going to label this season one of the Social Distance Live
Oh, I like that.
cover
All
series.
right.
Uh, and I may rebroadcast some of these in the interim, and I'm also going to focus on getting my website up, socialdistancelive.com, um, and maybe messing with Instagram. So far, me and Instagram don't like each other, but I'll see what I can do in that regard. Um, yeah, I think that's the main housekeeping thing I wanted to cover. So that's we'll touch on that at the end. But next week so is Towns
Post
Van Zandt.
post the link, Isabel says. Isabel, you're so freaking on it. Okay. I'll
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. Josh will
You
do
you
that. He'll post the
you want to
link.
start the show? Huh?
Yeah, yeah. Let's start the show. Um,
Okay, I'm gonna post the link.
okay. So Bjork, Josh suggested Bjork, and when he did, I sort of thought this is crazy. What a crazy idea. Um, great idea, but crazy. And
We
I
we've written some, we have a list and we've written some and this is like a dare.
Yeah, totally. And so I think for me, I was really excited because I wanted to get back into investigate Bjork because I had listened to some Bjork when I was younger in high school and then some in college, and kind of always knew that I should have listened to more Bjork. Um, but you know, I remember sort of being like, "Whoa, what is this?" in high school, and then having a few songs that I would listen to in college, sort of just by happenstance, kind of like because I'm from this era that was the burgeoning era of digital music, and so like I would just get like random songs on Napster or whatever. For example, I listened to Yoga a lot, Bjork's song Yoga, and it was because it was somehow like looped in with a bunch of Sigur Rós songs that I was downloading. And so, like that happened. I think the same thing with Headphones by Bjork, which it like got looped in with a bunch of Massive Attack that I was downloading. So that just kind of the weird happenstance of that particular era, which I think is so central to what Bjork does with you're flipped around, by the way, Josh. Yeah. What just kind of she really embraced digital music, and we'll talk about that more as we go along. But what I discovered is that I really like Bjork, and it's really amazing and really worth considering, and just voluminous in terms of the amount of stuff that she created. So I've been doing a deep dive the last couple of weeks, and it's been amazing. How about you, Josh?
With Bjork,
Yeah.
um, Bjork has always been present. Someone that I've kind of dipped kind of into when I felt like getting artsy, I guess, with the music. Like. However, I really did not listen to full albums, which I think was not as much of a good idea.
Right.
Her albums are really have a character and have a mission. It feels like
Yeah.
so. That this was a really good opportunity to do more of that. I got Debut back in the day, and I listened to the hell out of that one.
Right.
We have a lot of debut. We have a lot of debut on
Yes,
this one.
a
So
ton. It's a bit unbalanced in that regard, but
it's
it's
the
what
way
it
these
is.
go sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
as you guys can maybe tell, Josh was one of the cool kids, and I was maybe not as much one of the cool kids. Um, uh,
No, I.
uh,
Yes, I was. Yes, I
yes,
was, James. Thank you
totally.
for that.
Yeah, somebody's got to be a cool kid. Um,
Yeah, totally cool. You wanna go into it?
yeah,
Yeah,
so
let's just. You wanna
let's
go do the music? Let's just go for it.
well, let's just quickly talk about her back, or do you want to do the background afterwards?
Let's just hit it and then
Let's
do it
hit it.
after.
Yeah,
Let's
great,
just hit
awesome.
it. You want to just hit
Okay,
it?
yeah. You want to announce
All
the
right.
dance?
This is making their social distance live debut, Moonsick, performing Human Behavior off of Debut, 1992, three's debut. Let's just get this thing started on a high note, shall we?
Woo!
If you ever get close to a human and human behavior, you better be ready to get confused. And me and my laughter, there's definitely no logic to human behavior, yet so irresistible. And me
All right. Moonsick, human behavior. We just kind of started this one off with a boom.
Yeah, right to the
Moonsick,
face.
you sh- right to the face. The old moneymaker. Um, So, okay, Moonsick, you got to check out their On Stage with Jim and Tom video on YouTube. It's amazing. And while this is their social distance live debut, there's someone who's been on before in there. That's Briggs, who did Murder in the Red Barn last week, is secretly in that band. Do you want to take it from here, James? Maybe do a little stuff before the next one.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. First of all, you'll see there was a lot of green screen in that one. You'll see some more green screen coming up. One of the cool things that's evolved out of Social Distance Live here is we've given people the option to kind of do some different stuff and have some different tracks and so on. And people really run with that. So there's a lot of cool videos here. Come a long way from just one person and a guitar, but at the same time we've got some people just doing stripped down versions too, which is really great. So I think Bjork would appreciate that, like sort of just people experimenting and doing what they can or what they want to do with their technologies. Just a little bit about Bjork's background, right? So she grew up in Iceland, and she was famous in Iceland from being when she was a kid. She went to music school when she was 6, and she did a cover album that was like sort of a big deal in Iceland when she was 11.
Yeah, her school like was on the radio, and like, they were like, "Give that kid a contract."
Yeah, yeah. Uh, and she said something interesting about that too in an interview I saw, which is that she said that she was famous before she wanted fame, whereas most people are.
She
Yeah, but
Yeah,
most
they
people.
wanted her to do more covers, and she said no. She bought a piano with her money, and then she started a punk band
That's right. Yeah,
called Spit and Snot. It was an all-female punk band.
yeah, yeah. So I guess sort of punk came to Iceland right around 1980. She was born in 65. So when she was a young teenager, punk sort of like became a thing in Iceland, and she was just going crazy being anarchic and doing punk stuff from the get go.
Cool.
And a lot of these
You want
songs,
to do the next one?
yeah, a lot of these songs she
Oh,
wrote while she was in this younger period too. Um, and it wasn't until that she actually recorded them when she got into the solo. Let's go on to the next one, which is
Steve Ward. That's Steve doing "Venus is a Boy." I'm sorry, I'm a little
Sweet. Yeah.
discombobulated. Steve Wardmore doing "Venus as a Boy," right?
Yep.
I know.
His wicked sense of humor suggests exciting sex. His fingers focus on her touches. His Venus as a boy. beauty in her. He's Venus. He's Venus as a boy. He believes in a beauty. He's Venus as a boy. He believes in a beauty and cannot. He believes in a beauty. He's Venus as a boy. He believes in a beauty and cannot.
Yeah, I didn't write these very, very well. That was Steve Ward Moore doing Venus as a boy off of Debut, which is Bjork's debut. Pretty much.
Strangely, yeah.
Yeah.
Although,
Oh,
I mean,
is
it's her solo debut, right? So she was doing this thing called the Sugar Cubes, and she was touring with U2, and they were sort of becoming successful, but she'd always sort of seemed like she wanted to do something that was more individual and exploratory. She was doing jazz as well, right? She did an album called Glinglow, which means like clink clang of bells, which was jazz. And then she went to England in '92 and recorded this debut album. So all this was done in England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of what you hear is kind of, and she partied hard in London.
Yeah.
You hear that in a lot of her embracing of the kind of dance music.
Yeah. Totally. But the
See, I know stuff too, James.
oh
I know stuff too.
cool. That's shocking.
I know. Guys.
No, but I mean, it is such a unique mix that she had, where she was doing this rock band thing with the Sugar Cubes. She was doing this jazz. She had this inclination towards experimentation and kind of more like heavy into the music side of music. And then she also had this really strong love of dance music and electronic music, and so they all kind of came together.
Cool. I like the music side of music. I thought that was good.
That's one side, yeah.
That's one side of it. All right, let's do the next one. This one is by Handmade Moments, making their debut here, and I'm so happy to have them on the show. They're doing Come to Me by Handmade Moments.
burst your bubble and break the charm.
Whew. James, you ever have those moments when it just like hits you and you're like, I miss live shows so much.
Yeah.
You know, when you get kind of punched in the chest. It just happened to me. I miss seeing Handmade Moments perform. This was really great. And anyone who you know, someday I hope, if you haven't seen them live, I really hope you get the opportunity. I think that they do live streams and stuff. So check them out. They're nonstop. They have no off switch. They are incredible. And so is this next group. Are the next artists. This is Nathan and Jesse. Nathan and Jesse doing which one are they doing? Like Someone in Love, right?
That's right. Yep.
Now I just want to say really quick, huh?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this jazzy stuff. I feel like there's this other world that Bjork could have gone, you know, after
Totally.
they debut post, but she takes this other turn, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
These songs on debut are really magical. Yeah, let's go for it. Like Someone in Love, Nathan and Jesse. Hit it.
Lately, I find myself out gazing at stars.
Hearing guitars like someone in love.
Sometimes the things I do astound me.
Mostly whenever you're around me.
Lately, I seem to walk as though I had wings.
Bump into things like someone in love.
Each time I look at you, I'm limp as a glove and feeling like someone in love. Each time I look at you, I'm limp as a glove and feeling like someone in love.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yep. Nathan and Jesse. Definitely thrashing.
Yes. Yeah. So good.
That was beautiful. And a dog. I don't know the dog's name, but if anyone knows it, please post the dog's name. We want to give the dog credit. Nathan and Jesse doing Like Someone in Love, which brings us to the end of debut. We have one more.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
This is the final track on debut, Anchor.
Yep.
Which just, she really nails final tracks of albums. I just got to say, Bjork really nails the final track thing. This is Schlee. This is Schlee returning MVP from Social Distance Live. Schlee.
MVP. Although
Schlee.
Jeremy Lyon is like, wait, what? But
oh, Jeremy, you got to come back. Jeremy's
Yeah.
around next week.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. This is Anchor. Performed by Schlee. Let's do it.
is where I'm staying. This is my home.
Schlee just keeps one-upping herself.
Amazing.
Schlee, you got to look out because Schlee's coming right behind you. You better look out, Schlee.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Chasing herself.
Oh my goodness.
I just want to say about that
Right.
song, by the way, just that on the album it is all saxophones and Bjork, and so I really love what Chile did there with taking the flutes and doing multiple tracks of flute. Brilliant, sweet move.
Brilliant. Brilliant. All right, this next one is off of Post, but I don't think we have anything to say about this. This is the Sam Chase performing "It's Oh So Quiet." Do you have anything to say?
Just get ready. That's what I've got to say.
Just get ready.
Get ready.
Yeah, everyone sit down. Everyone sit down. This is "Oh So Quiet" performed by the Sam Chase.
It's oh so quiet, it's oh so still. You're all alone and so peaceful until you fall in love. Ding boom, sky up above. Ding boom is caving in. Wow, bam! You've never felt so nuts about a guy. You wanna laugh, you wanna cry, you cross your heart and hope to die. Until it's over, it's nice and quiet, but soon again starts another big riot. You blow a fuse, zing boom, the devil gets loose, zing boom, so what's the use? Wow, bam, I'm falling in love. It's oh so quiet. It's oh so still. You're all alone and so peaceful until you ring that bell. Bing bam, you shout and you yell. Hi ho, you broke the spell. Gee, this is swell. You almost have a fit. The sky is gorgeous and I got hit. There's no mistaking this is it. Until it's over. Shh, shh. Then it's nice and quiet. Shh, hey, shut the fuck up. But soon again, shh, starts another big riot. You blow a fuse, zing boom, the devil gets loose, zing boom, oh what's the use? Wow, bam, I'm falling in love. The sky caves in, the devil cuts loose, you blow, 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 blow your fuse when you're falling in love.
All right. That was "Oh So Quiet" performed by the Sam Chase. That's actually off of Sam's upcoming album of all Bjork covers.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
breaking news. It's going to be a thing.
Um,
All right, James, you want to take it? I'm just going to imagine everybody was laughing at home.
Yeah.
Because you didn't laugh. You didn't laugh. You just
I was trying to not enforce, reinforce the joke by playing
yeah.
along. Oh
Yeah, we're
well.
in it together. We're in
Next
this
next
together, James.
next time I'll just laugh.
From the beginning to the end, we're in this together.
Yeah, with apologies to everyone else. Um,
Yeah. You're tagging along. We're very, very thankful.
I just want to say really
All right,
quickly
talk to
that
post.
well, I want to say about that song in particular. That it's actually a cover. I don't know if everyone knows that, but it's a cover of Betty Hutton's song, which is a '50s song. Um, I don't know what that means, but it's a cover. I think
We
yeah. Go ahead.
we do the cover artists covering artists who do covers just for those of you there, because it's really the story of Bjork's artistic output, and not necessarily her work as a songwriter. That's what we want to focus on with these things.
Yeah.
Hit it, James. Keep going. Sorry.
I don't know. So I just, she, this album, the first album, right, debut was a lot of stuff that she had written when she was walking around in Iceland, when she was younger. But at the same time, it was intermixing with this new experience of being in London, and engaging with like the trip hop folks, like Massive Attack and so on, and she really just became a huge star. And I think that's a big part of what Post was about, was kind of this next level of becoming a kind of pop phenomenon, even though she was so unique. And I want to say about Anchor Song just quickly that I think it's an interesting kind of emblem of that, because it's written from this perspective of being somebody in Iceland, being somebody, in a quiet place by the quiet place by the sea. But she's doing this album though while she's in this very hectic, crazy scene that she's living and doing. And I think that's more reflected in the next song we have. But also I think the next song, in a way, kind of hyper ballad, it kind of looks towards homogenic in some ways. I don't know if you agree with that, but
I do.
But so let's do that, and then we'll just briefly touch on kind of some of the things that brought her from Post to homogenic, and then we'll also do a version with no talking for all of you afterwards.
Yeah, we're gonna post that later today, right? Just the songs.
Yeah, I'll just around 6 p.m. probably.
Okay.
Do you want to introduce Hyper Ballad?
Oh yeah, totally. This making a social distance live debut. A good friend of mine. This is Osito performing Hyper Ballad off of Post.
We live on a mountain right at the top, with this beautiful view from the top of the mountain. Every morning I walk towards the edge, and I throw little things off, like car parts, bottles, and cutlery, or whatever I find lying around. It's become a habit, a way to start the day. I go through all this before you wake up, so I can feel happier to be safe up here with you. I go through all this before you wake up, so I can feel happier to be safe up here with you. It's early morning, no one is awake. I'm back back at my cliff, still throwing things off. Listen for the sound they make on their way down. I follow with my eyes while they crash. Imagine what my body would sound like slamming against those rocks. And when it hits, will my eyes be closed or open? I go through all this before you wake up, so I can feel happier to be safe up here with you. I go through all this before you wake up, so I can feel happier to be safe up here with you. 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 Safe up here with you.
Osito performing Hyper Ballad. And I'm really glad we have here today, because with Jake just playing with the guitar, it just really shows that, you know, aside from just all the dressings, all of the just volcanic, crazy, you know, animal stuff going on, you just strip it down and it can, so many of her songs are just beautiful, just structurally and melodically and with the lyrics, you know.
Exactly.
You just strip them down and they've still got all of that. I think we've seen that with a few of the acoustic acts today. All right. Oh my God. Next up, we're entering Homogenic. Okay, I love this album beyond words. So I'm gonna let James kind of talk about it. Do you have anything to say?
I just want
about
to
it?
I just want to touch on the change between post and homogenic,
Yeah.
where what happened is she became a really kind of big celebrity, and I was only vaguely aware of this because I was young at the time, but like there's this whole incident where she clubbed a reporter in the Thailand and Bangkok airport, and just had sort of a very fraught relationship with the paparazzi, but also so she was in a relationship with a lot of people she collaborated with, but she's in a relationship with Tricky of Massive Attack, or who was collaborating with Massive Attack in '95, around the time that she produced Post, and then after that she started a relationship with the musician Goldie, and that was she was kind of like a celebrity couple thing, and all of this time she also had a child, a son that she had actually had back in '86. So she was doing this weird thing where she was being this celebrity ingenue, and just the way that she looks and the way that she presented herself, she seemed very young, kind of naive and otherworldly, but at the same time carting this 9-year-old kid around the world, which is apparently a big part of why she got in this fight with this reporter, was that the reporter allegedly addressed the question to her son instead of to her. So she beat the reporter down. But yeah, it's a very strange, and you could just sort of see this kind of just a strange existence that she had grown into, of being this phenomenon. And then in '96, American person Ricardo Lopez became obsessed with her, and sort of documented this process, basically, where he wrote and videoed everything that he was doing, of going insane and becoming obsessed with Bjork, and he decided that he was going to kill Bjork, Partly there was a racism aspect. He was upset that she was with Goldie, who was Afro-British. But partly it's just, obsessed and crazy. And so he decided he was going to either kill or disfigure Bjork, so he sent her this bomb that was supposed to explode and had acid in it. But then he documented this really like obsessively, and so when he died, because he killed himself immediately after he sent it, he was discovered, and all of his sort of like plan was discovered, and they immediately passed the information on to Scotland Yard, and they actually intercepted the package en route from when it got to the UK before it got to Bjork's house. Would have never actually got to Bjork because Bjork had her mail vetted. But anyway, the whole thing was really crazy, obviously, for her, and I think was maybe a tipping point for all these other things that were going on. And she kind of reevaluated, and she, as she said in an interview I saw her do with a German station in, I think, 2000. She kind of she felt like she had a choice to be a celebrity at that time in '96 or to be a musician, and so she chose to be a musician in her view, and so she went and did this project, Homogenic, which she recorded both in Spain and in Iceland, but she was really trying to create a kind of new Icelandic, a modern Icelandic sound that expressed the nature of Iceland. And this next song, Yoga, is really speaks to that. We have a particular cover, but that song has this particular way of using instrumentals, both electronic and orchestral, to create a sense of the space and the dynamism of Iceland, which is so interesting to me because that's so what I gravitated to in Sigur Rós, and then sort of discovered that Bjork kind of invented this with Homogenic. So,
All right. This is Yoga performed by Lindsay Gray. Lindsay Gray doing yoga off of Homogenic. All right. Let's drop the needle. beautiful performance of Yoga from '97's Homogenic by Bjork. That was Lindsay Gray, and it's so good to see Lindsay again performing. Beautiful, and I hope for many return performances. All right. We're going to continue with Homogenic. I got something to say just really quick about this one, just really, really quick. I think it's really notable that I think she chose this direction with Homogenic, where she like consciously was trying to weave together nature and technology, and I think that's been a mission of hers for from then on. And I can compare that with like human behavior off debut is kind of like this separate view of an animal looking at humans. That's kind of, and you see the video with all these puppet animals and stuff like that. I feel like there was more of a struggle between the two in those songs, and then in Homogenic, she totally finds this. I totally agree. Yeah, she's creating a Icelandic music, and Iceland is this geothermal, just energetic nature. Just nature has so much energy. I've never been. Have you been, James?
I was there at the airport and I totally screwed it up because I should have planned to be there like overnight, and instead I just was there for a couple hours talking to airport
Yeah,
security. Bad times.
I bet that was really cool.
Well, it was a nicely designed airport. I was kind of like, oh, because I went to Waldorf school and I was like, oh yes, this is like it's all wooden. It's nice. It's great.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Well, maybe if someone has been to Iceland and wants to talk about the natural beauty and the civilization there, chime in because anyway, because I think it just charged Homogenic into this amazing album that we love so much. Next up, Tony Gibson and JB Duff doing Hunter off of Homogenic.
left me on my own to complete the mission. Now I'm leaving it all behind. I'm going hunting. I'm a hunter. I'm a hunter. I'm a
Thank you, Tony and JB. That was awesome. And apparently, they recorded that using a live take. So there's loops in there, but JB is triggering them. And one of the loops, one of the string loops, was recorded, I guess, by Tony, like elbowing his guitar in some way, which I think is pretty neat. So yeah, thank you so much.
Tony, Sam, and Shlee were all part of our first show at the Velvet Underground show. So it's really cool to have them, and then just so many new people this time. So good on everyone. All right, so Hunter is the first track on 97's Homogenic. Next, we have the final track. Now, I swear, the change from the track before this, Pluto, into All Is Full of Love, it makes me cry, for real. So All Is Full of Love is, again, another sign of just Bjork really being able to sum things up at the end of an album very, very powerfully. This is Julian Shaw Taylor, who was performed at the Pixies show, here with All Is Full of Love from 97's Homogenic.
twist your head around. It's all around you. All is full of love. All around you. All is full of love. 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 You just ain't receiving. All is full of love. Your phone is off the hook. Full of love. Your doors are all shut. Full of love. All is full of love. All is full of love. All is full of love. Full of love. All is 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 full of love.
Julian Shaw Taylor, All Is Full of Love, the final track of Homogenic 1997 by Bjork. We are here celebrating Bjork's amazing art, and geez, so many people. We have like 14 artists. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
So we have reached the end of Homogenic and the beginning of so many musical journeys undertaken through different bold albums, crazy live shows, crazy public appearances and stuff, and it just kind of keeps going from here. James, do you wanna lead us into the next one?
We're just missing a whole album, which is
Yeah.
Vespertine, which was 2001. Vespertine, which means like something that happens in the evening time. But she was specifically thinking of twilight and of the way that things are in like Iceland in the winter, where it's always twilight, this perpetual twilight, and this kind of the stay-at-home vibe that creates. And so that album's really intimate. And I think, like you were saying about her other albums, also it's really of a piece. And I think it's a brilliant album. I really like a lot of it, and actually, it's a bummer that we're missing some of it. Pagan Poetry is a really well-known, great song, but also I had kind of an urge to do Unison. If anyone's interested in this idea that we could actually kind of collaborate via distance on Unison, and like sort of people could choose parts, we could put it together. Cool. You could message me or comment if you're interested in kind of like choosing a single sound or set of sounds or a part, and then we could make a unison, which would be good because it's unison, right? And unison is also the last track of that album, which, as Josh was saying, was like she's really good at kind of hitting you and bringing things together on the last track. But there was a big gap between Homogenic, and then Unison was quick, and then a big gap between Vespertine and the next full original album, which is Medulla. In between, she created an album, Greatest Hits, which was not surprisingly her greatest hits up to that point. But she did also add in an original single, which is called "It's in Our Hands," and so we have that playing. Coming up next.
Yeah. All right, we have Jared Newman making a debut here as well. Another new artist on Social Distance Live performing "It's in Our Hands."
Look no farther. Look no further. Look no farther. Coolness almost always to ourselves. It mustn't get any better, 'cause it's in our hands. It's in our hands. 'Cause it's in our hands. Well, aren't we scaring ourselves unnecessarily? Aren't we trying too hard? 'Cause it's in our hands. It's in our hands. It's in our hands. Look no farther. Cause it's in our hands. It's in our hands. It's in our hands.
Huh?
You're good.
Are we on?
Yep. Thank you. Jared
Are
Newman,
we
that was
on?
awesome. Yeah, you're on.
Oh, that was great. So that is Jared Newman performing It's in Our Hands. And it is so good to have you a part of the show. We've never had Jared Newman on. And as soon as we posted about Bjork, it was like, really wanted to be a part of it. And I'm so happy. Jared, you got to come back. You've got to come back. Are you there? Yeah, you're there. All right. So next up, Medulla. Okay, Medulla's an album. It's all human sounds, James? Is it mostly human sounds?
Mostly. So that's
There's
like
a piano.
yeah, and there's some electronic stuff, but the concept was for it to be all human voice, and I think you can really hear that in some of the early tracks, and then some of the ending tracks. Like again, the end track is amazing. It's like a beatbox, crazy, awesome thing. But this one, there's some accompaniment in this one in the original, but a lot of vocal stuff. It's really cool.
Great. Yeah, she has guests like Mike Patton, Rozelle, and Inuit throat singer. Just amazing. You got to listen to it. Amazing human sounds in all of their glory and all sorts of stuff like that. So, all right. So we have Francesco Echo. Francesco Echo's up with making a debut again. Will definitely come back. Desired Constellation. Oh, and just a reminder, everyone. Did you hit play?
Nope.
Oh, just a reminder, everyone. We're going to rebroadcast at 6, just the music. So it'll be tighter, please share it.
It's
And
going to
get
be
the word
tight,
out.
super tight.
It's sick tight. All right, Francesco Echo, Desired Consolation off of Medulla.
It's tricky when you feel someone has done something on your behalf. It's slippery when your sense of justice murmurs underneath and is asking, how am I going to make it right? How am I going to make it right? With a palm full of stars, I shake them like die repeatedly. I throw them on the table repeatedly until the desired constellation appears. And how am I going to make it right? How am I going to make it right? How am I going to make it right? How am I going to make it right?
Francesco Echo performing blah 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 Desired Constellation off of Medulla. What year was Medulla? 2004.
That's right.
2004.
That,
So
I just want to say that cover is amazing. Like,
yeah,
don't. That's crazy. It's so good. So like, could take that right to the club.
yeah. Those last two actually were
Yeah.
I was feeling it. I'm ready for this, for whatever happens next. I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Lee Jones. Lee Jones. I had the pleasure of seeing Lee Jones perform. I think it was with Crow in the Canyon performed a song off of Medulla. I forgot what it is, Lee, if you're there. The Crown one. Anyway, so we had to have her here. She was in the Joni Mitchell episode as well, and here she is now. Another song off of Medulla. This is Oceania.
Oceania. Yeah.
Thank you, Oceania. Thank you, James. You have something to say about this one?
Oh no, let's just play it. It's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It stands for itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
One breath away from Mother Oceania, your nimble feet make prints in my sands. You a snake, is a lily. Every girl is a lynx, is a pearl, sweet like harmony, made into flesh. Ah, you dance by my side, children sublime. You show me continents, I see islands. You count the centuries, I blink my eyes. Hawks and sparrows race in my waters, stingrays are floating across the sky. Little ones, my sons and my daughters, your sweat is salty. I am why. I am why. I am why. Your sweat is salty. I am why. I am why. I am why.
All right, Lee Jones and Will Dudley. I don't know Will. I don't think doing Oceania off of Medulla, 2004. And I just want to say one thing. Let this be a gateway drug for you to look up these artists. They're in the description of the event, and when we repost the event at 6, they'll just all be listed there, thanks to James's phenomenal graphic design skills. So please find Lee, find Jared, find Schlee, find all of them online, follow them, and stay in touch with them. This is part of the big thing about Social Distance Live, is showing how people are doing awesome stuff. They're not gone. People are doing awesome stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, that's totally that is the point, really. Along with investigating an artist, is just showing all these different artists and all the things that they can do and love to do. This show is a great example of that. Our other shows are great examples of that. So check out our previous shows as well if you haven't seen them. And like Josh was saying, follow the artists. Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. So just on a related note, then next week we have a Towns Van Sant show, and Towns Van Sant. I'm really excited for that one. Then we're going to take a little break on the cover shows at the very least. I don't know what else. There might be something else, or it might mostly be broadcasts. But that'll be for 2 weeks. And then we'll kick back into gear with shows like this. So be sure to spend some of that time. Look at the old episodes, and check them out. There's some really great stuff that has happened here that you shouldn't miss.
Yeah, and please like and share Social Distance Live as well, just so that, because I'm going to try to go back to doing live shows as well, and just help me build the venue. So thanks.
It's a venue. Yeah. Follow it and see what the other stuff that James is up to. All right, final one, 2011's Biophilia. This one is the first app album. It actually came out with an app. I got it, and it's beautiful. The app is actually called Cosmogony, which is the name of this next song. And what it means is the study of the origin of the universe. And on the app, she says it represents the harmony of planetary and musical systems, which I think is a good summary of a lot of her work. I totally recommend you spend like the $13 or whatever and get it, because it lets you interact with the songs, and it's such a peaceful, immersive. It really brings you into an immersive experience because your hands are actually part of the music, you know. So I recommend it. All right, that's all I got. This is Annie Hendrix.
Yeah, thank you everyone for
Hendrix.
tuning in.
Yeah, we're just gonna end it with this one. But thank you all so much. We'll see you next week.
Thank you to the artists. Really amazing. All this work is just amazing.
Yeah, let me list them off. Moonsick, Steve Ward, Moore, Handmade Moments, Nathan and Jesse, Schlee, V. Sam Chase, Osito, Lindsey Gray, Tony Gibson, JB Duff, Julian Shaw Taylor, Jared Newman, Lee Jones, Francesco Echo, and now Annie Hendrix performing Cosmogony. Thank you so much, everybody.
Heaven, heaven's bodies whirl around me, make me wonder. And they say back then our universe was an endless sea, until a silver fox and her cunning maid began to sing a song that became the world we know. Heaven, heaven's bodies whirl around me, make me wonder. And they say back then our universe was a cold black egg, until the God inside broke out, and from his shattered shell he made the world we know. Heaven, heaven's bodies whirl around me, make me wonder. And they say back then our universe was an Eden there, until a sudden bang, and then there was light, was sound, was matter.